Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a long overdue update for project 10 uses. I was inspired to do this project by Geek, though many other channels are doing this as well. I believe the one who started this as a project pan was Phoebe HB. I started this project after ending pan those eyeshadows because I just wasn't doing a good job, but I love at that project, but I love the randomization. So we do have some randomized eyeshadows in this project pan, but I'm only using them 10 times instead of trying to hit pan on them. And then I wanted to round it out with some other products. Please excuse my location. I'm actually in my youngest son's bedroom because the lighting seems the best right now in this room, though still not the greatest. I have been struggling to find the time that I want to dedicate to YouTube. My life has just been so crazy busy for 2 years, it seems like, but especially in the last 2 months, especially since my home flooded and I don't have a dedicated space where, you know, my lights and my camera are always there waiting for me, and then when I do have time, I just need to go and turn them on. Now I need to rearrange my bedroom and then set up the lights, and I just don't seem to have the time. No matter how hard I keep trying to carve out time. So this is what we're doing. This might be how my channel looks for the foreseeable future, of me just taking 20 minutes of my day to film a project pan update and setting my phone up in a window where the lighting is decent. So I'm really sorry if that's going to bother you or annoy you. I'm sure it's going to bother and annoy me too, but I love YouTube so much, and I don't want to just be like, I don't have time and not do anything, because that would make me so sad. That's enough rambling. Let's hop into my progress for project 10 uses. I am going to go in the order of things that have been in for the longest down to the things I rolled in last month. Sometimes I like to do, non-eyeshadows and then eyeshadows, or vice versa, but I'm just going to go in the order of my list here. To start it off, I had my M Cosmetics Peach Silk Highlighter. And my goal with all these things is to use them 10 times, but I only needed to use this 2 more times as of the last update. And I did that soon after I filmed that video. And also having this up in my everyday makeup drawer, I got some use out of the blushes, some of these eyeshadows. So this was a really good product for me to roll in. I rolled this in after Geek had mentioned that the M Cosmetics highlighters are really underrated, and I would agree. This is absolutely stunning, and I'm happy I was able to use it 10 times. I already have rolled in a product to replace this last month. This is the Alter Ego Luster Charm Palette. It is inspired by Divine Rose by Pat McGrath. I believe. I am not very familiar with Pat McGrath eyeshadows at all. I only needed to use this 1 more time since the last update, and I did do that. I used the shade Rare here 10 times in this project, but again, this project with only 10 uses allows me to use everything in here, which I really do enjoy. I think the quality on this palette is really fantastic. I can't compare it to actual Pat McGrath palettes, of course, but I am an affiliate for Alter Ego. My code is emilynmax to save you 10% if that's something you're interested in. My one critique with this palette, I don't know if you can see right here, these 2 special shades create like a fogginess on the mirror. I'm trying to show you here and here, and I'm not really sure why they do that. They are more emollient when I put my finger in it, so I'm assuming it's some sort of ingredient. This shade here is so cool. I don't know if you can see, it's like a white pink shift. Absolutely beautiful. Anyways, I really enjoyed this palette, but it is officially rolling out now as I have used it 10 times. Next, I have a blush from my Makeup Geek magnetic palette. This is the shade Cherish. I was at 4 uses at the last update, and I'm now up to 9 uses. Only one more use to go. I'm not going to roll anything in for this. I will just wait till next time. Hopefully, maybe someday I can get back on track. Technically, the next update should be 2.5 weeks from now because I'm so late, but I only have one more use on this. It is the blush I'm wearing today. It's just a beautiful, natural, neutral pink, and I do think it's beautiful. And once again, I have been able to use some of these other eyeshadows while having this magnetic palette up. The one thing with this though is, like, for a highlight and one blush, like, this took up a lot of space in my drawer, but that's okay. Next, I have my Alter Ego Goddess palette. It was very strange that 2 Alter Ego palettes got randomly generated into this project. Once again, I am an affiliate for Alter Ego, and my code works on this palette as well. It is inspired by the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and it is really beautiful. I had 5 uses on this in the last update, and I'm now up to 9 on this product as well. I also need to use this one more time. I did use some of the matte shades. Actually, I have Hera, Iris, Luna, and Lissa in my eye look today, I believe. And last month I had a goal to use the matte teal and the shimmer teal shadow, and I did create a look using those. I really like this matte teal shade, but I have to say I was kind of disappointed with Artemis. Once again, I cannot compare this to the Natasha Denona Gold palette and what it looks like. On a swatch, it looks fine, but I find it has on the eye like more of a grayish look, like gray blue or gray teal. I'm not sure. It's just not my favorite teal shimmer, and that's okay. But what I really love this palette for specifically are these 4 mid-tone matte browns with their varying undertones, and I surprisingly get a ton of use out of those. So I only have one more use to go on this, and then I don't know if I should randomize an eyeshadow palette or choose one that I want to get use out of. We'll have to see how I'm feeling at the next update. Another randomized specific eyeshadow I rolled in, if I wasn't clear, the Goddess palette was like the palette as a whole. This is Odin's Eye Norns. I do love the new packaging they came out with, where the pants are the same shape as their newer releases over the past couple of years, but the color and the formula is the same, I'm pretty sure. So no, I'm not going to buy that new one. But I did roll in the shade Amber Place up here. I had used it 2 times as of the last update, and I have used it 2 additional times. So I'm now at 4 out of 10 uses. And once again, because there's only 10 uses, I feel more freedom to get use out of the rest of the palette. I've used this matte teal, I've used the matte brown, I've used pink chameleon as well as green chameleon. I almost said passion, but I was looking at the green shade. This is a really great, it feels wintry to me, but because I'm just working on a gold shade, like, it doesn't really matter. I do have this on my inner corners today, and I do think it's really beautiful. I still have a lot of use to get on this palette. The eyeshadow I rolled in to replace the Alter Ego Luster Charm palette came from my pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette, and I rolled in the shade Dark Side, which is this satin gray shade. A little nervous about this one. I've only used it once since rolling it in, and it was really beautiful. I actually put it all over my lid, and it provided this natural satin finish, and I made like a more poppy shade on my inner corner, and then some mattes out of this palette, as well as the Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves. I made like a gray mauvey cool toned look, and I really enjoyed how that looked. I love cool tone neutrals, but because this is gray, I'm finding it a bit trickier to use versus like the cooler toned brown shades in this palette. But the quality in this palette is actually really amazing, even despite its age. I tried to hit pan on Break Free a couple of years ago, so there's a huge dip in there. If I can focus on that as well as this shade, maybe I can have a bonus pan to share with you. I'm not sure. I believe this got 30 uses, and Still looks like a long ways to go. This is, I need 9 more uses on this, so still quite a long ways to go on this guy, but I'm happy to be getting use out of it. A lip product I have in this project is the Lawless Forget the Filler Gloss. This is a mini in the shade Bitten. It's what's on my lips today, though I do have a lip liner on as well. As of the last update, I had worn it for 4 days, and I've worn it 4 additional days in this last however long it's been. I always want to say month, but that's not true. Ouch. So I am at 8 out of 10 uses on this gloss, and I really enjoy it, and I'm happy I have 4 shades of this gloss now. I think it's a really lovely formula. I just mentioned this in my last update. The mini, I don't like the dimensions of the packaging. Like, the cap is just so big. I wish the cap was shorter and the wand part was longer, because when I'm doing my top lip, and maybe it's just me, with the angle of this doe foot, I sometimes hit my bottom lip on the cap. It might just be me, but that's not my favorite thing, and I'm sure the full size probably wouldn't do that, but it's just because it's so short. And lastly, a product I haven't used at all since the last update is my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I literally just finished a concealer today. I officially called it an empty, and I've been using that exclusively for the last month or 2. And so I'm still at 4 out of 10 uses for this concealer, but now this is the only other concealer I currently have in a project at all. Like at this moment, I'm sure I will roll one into a project, but that means I can easily get the 6 other uses I need on this and be able to roll this out next month really easily. It is quite light for me, and it's not my favorite formula. I do feel like it's heavy, but I have it's down to here, I think. It hasn't been sitting upright, but I see a line forming here since it's been in my bin while I've been filming. So I don't know, maybe this concealer isn't that hard to use up. If you've used up one of these, let me know if it took a super long time or if it was relatively easy. Concealers take a long time regardless, but I mean, definitely not rolling that out. So technically 2 products are rolling out, my Luster Charm palette and my M Cosmetics highlighter, but I had rolled in the Pretty Vulgar shade for this already. So all I'm doing is going to roll in 1 new product. Even though there are 2 other things I'm at 9 uses on, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with everything, so I will just wait until next month to replace those. But to replace this highlighter, which was a warm peachy kind of shade, I want to roll in this e.l.f. highlighter in the shade Rose Glow, which is more of a cool toned pinky shade. And I think this will go really well with some of the eyeshadows I plan on working into the latter part of the year. And I have a lot of warm highlighters in my rotation right now, and I feel like I could use something a bit cooler in tone, and so this is the one that I would like to get 10 uses on. So for next update, I plan on rolling out this blush, this palette, and my concealer at least. Oh, and the lip gloss should be able, ooh, I almost dropped everything on the floor because I only have 2 more uses on this as well. So next month will be a really exciting update for this project. I already need to start thinking on like what I should be rolling in. The sun is now coming out and making my skin look a weird color. That is enough rambling from me. Thank you so much for watching this Project Pan update. If you have any suggestions for roll-ins, whether it be a palette or just any other product, it doesn't even have to be like these product categories. Like when I roll out this lip gloss, that does not mean I need to roll in a lip gloss. I should probably shuffle up the products a little bit as well. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!